Hello and welcome to the Just for Gamers video game podcast. Episode 214, Safe of Knowledge. In this week's episode, Discord is shit.
We trusted you.
JfG Ash is off for a week or two. JfG Alex has all the bubble wands. There's a bit of a Codemasters jizz session.
Can happen.
And finally, you guys are everywhere.
Cheers, buddies. Hello and welcome to the JfG Podcast. This is episode 214. I'm feeling particularly rigid this evening, buddy.
Always.
My name is Alex. I'm joined by my good friend Ash. This isn't the third or fourth time we've recorded the intro to this show.
Not at all.
Discord isn't repeatedly crashing on us over and over again. We didn't both have to reinstall it on several occasions, despite the fact that you're on a Windows PC and I'm on a Mac.
Yeah.
They somehow managed to make that thing broken on both platforms, buddy. And only 1 week after we said Discord was the fucking bee's knees.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful program.
Look at that.
And that everyone should come and join it. And
How
if you want to
about
join
it?
our Discord channel, buddies, then head over to www.thejfgpodcast.co.uk where you'll find the Discord link and can have a good old chat with other people on there, presuming it will load. So, how are you doing this week, buddy? What have you been up to?
Yeah, as always, buddy, feeling good on Wednesday. Yeah, sparkling thoughts. Skipping hope to go on. Yeah, that shit again, eh? Okay, yeah. Happy days. I got sleep last night.
I know.
That was a highlight. You know that already.
Tell me
about my sleep. That I got sleep. Yeah, I got sleep.
You got good sleep, did you?
No one cares about that. The main thing people care about is I went to Autumn Towers on Sunday.
Oh my god! And did you go on the Wickerman, buddy?
I went on Wickerman. And
what did you make of Wickerman?
Wickerman's fucking amazing.
It's great, isn't it?
It's awesome. Like, there's
Do you see what I mean about
speed.
it not looking particularly impressive, but actually when you get on it, I mean, obviously the staging and everything looks great, but you look at it and it's like, well, there's no big like hills.
Yeah, where do I go upside down?
Yeah, but then you get on it, it's like a fucking cheeky wee endeavour. Yeah,
it's the curvature, I'd say. I
believe so, buddy. Yeah,
it adds to the G's.
Yeah, especially prominent on this God's green earth, which of course is flat. So that really adds to the curves there. Yeah, absolutely.
So went to Autumn Towers. I didn't spend a penny, which was fucking lovely. Oh, he's had some issues with the fucking pop
If it's not one thing, it's another thing.
It's all going tits up today, mate. Who gives a shit,
Pop shield's just come off, innit?
Yeah, that happens. Didn't spend a fucking penny. Not even getting in there. Didn't pay for parking. Didn't pay for lunch. It was amazing because obviously it was my son's birthday birthday ruse party thing or whatever. Him and his best mate are like 2 or 3 weeks apart on their birthdays, so we normally do like a joint party kind of thing for them. And we said this year, should we fuck everyone else off and just do something as us lot? And they were like, yeah, okay. And so obviously decided on Autumn Towers. And my son's best mate, his mum, I think it's her cousin or something, is the head security guy at Autumn Towers. So
nice.
So as a punch, he was like, oh, we're thinking about going to Autumn Towers. And he's like, oh, yeah, we'll get you some free tickets. And we're like, oh, fucking sweet. That's saving us loads. He met us there. He's like, oh, yeah, you need these. And gave us 8 of those fucking fast track tokens, which are like 10, 15 quid each or whatever. I was like, fucking sweet. He's like, well, meet me at 12 o'clock in the roller coaster restaurant. I'll treat you to a meal. I was like, okay, this sounds good. I like this.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, he's like, oh, here's your parking tickets. I was like, fuck me. What a day.
That dude knows how to fucking put on the Ritz, buddy.
Yeah, he does.
That was a tenuous link at best, and he's absolutely smashed it out the park right there.
if I'd paid for all that, it must have cost me about like 400 quid or something stupid for everyone. I was like, fuck me. Like the meal alone was like about 120 quid or something altogether. I was like, Jesus. And then they had all like birthday cake and shit coming down. They got some Alton Towers trumps, which is always a good fucking birthday present, you know.
Gibbons, absolutely.
And they got to go on a load of rides. Unfortunately, they couldn't go on the really big rides. You have to be 1.4 meters. They're like 1.38 and 1.32. So,
shit.
No, it was so close. But I feel like they would have shat themselves if they went on like the Smiler or something. Because we started off, they went on like the spinball one, you know, the first one you go in there that spins round while you go around it.
It's a vicious ride, that.
They fucking lapped that up. They were like, this is amazing. So they were happy with that. And then we went over on the runaway train, runaway mine train, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah. Classic.
And the good thing about that is like even my youngest daughter of 3, because she was like over like 90 centimeters, she could go on that. So all of us went on it, and like my youngest fucking loved it. She was like, that's amazing. And that's got like a little, you know, a couple of corners on there where it's going to get the G's up and stuff. It was good. And then after that, buddy, we hit the Wickerman, and they fucking shit themselves. So like we're on the Wickerman, while you're going through, it's got like that whole like area where it gives you a little bit of story before you actually get on the ride, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they did not like that, because obviously it went pitch black and there was just like a fucking scary face, and then it went on fire. They weren't happy from the get-go, and they got in there. We got on the ride, and we're just going up, everyone's all right, and then like that first drop, like just looking at their faces, I was like, yep. But I tell you what, after about 2 or 3 corners, they were like, woo, buddies.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's just that first little hump of fear.
Yeah, exactly.
You're away. Yeah.
And later on, we went on the other roller coaster that they could go on, which was that 13. Now, I'd never been on this. And when we got in there, I can't remember his name now, the guy that gave us all the free passes anyway. I think his name's John. Big shout out to John. He's probably not listening.
I wouldn't have thought so. Imagine
very
that.
Much.
Jesus.
Yeah. And
he gave you like 400 quid's worth of Alton Towers shit, and you gave him like a link to the fucking podcast.
Yeah, mate.
Cheers, mate.
This is what you want. Yeah, absolutely.
Payment.
You'll fucking love it. Yeah. And it was like, oh yeah, there's a bit of a surprise halfway through it. So we go along it. We go off the edge. We're like, yeah, this is nice. This is a good. You know, it's not as fast as the Wickerman, but it's good. And then obviously you come to a point where you stop. And I was like, oh, this isn't where we came in. There's like, it's all fucked up around here. Then it goes really dark. And obviously the kids don't like the dark. And then like 10 seconds before it, or like 5 seconds before it happened, I was like, I know what's going to happen now. And I didn't say anything to them. And they were not happy when they got off that ride. Obviously, after they'd done it, they were like, yeah, I want to do it again, because they know what to expect now. But you know, it's that initial time of fear or whatever. And then, went on all the other crappy rides there, because, you know, young kids and stuff. CBeebies Land's quite nice. Went on the Night Garden ride, saw the Ninky Nonk and the Plinky Plonk and the Tumbly Boos, or whatever they're called. I can't remember.
Yeah, well, you got to.
Yeah.
You know, you got to stop in on the Tumbly Boos.
Saw Iggle Piggle, he was ace.
Yeah, he was there.
Upsy Daisy was a massive slut. She kept lifting her skirt up. I was like, you fucking slag.
Fucking hell, mate.
Yeah.
15 certificate.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
not good. Yeah.
Terrible. But
Disgusting.
yeah, it was a lovely fucking day. And that roller coaster fucking restaurant, that's crazy. What's that all about?
It?
The food comes down from the sky like a roller coaster.
It does. Yeah, it's like a Pixar film, perhaps, or something like that.
Yeah, it's like
but with shit food.
In reverse. It goes down. I don't think that's Pixar. That's like whatever the other one is. that does DreamWorks. There you go. I think Up is DreamWorks, isn't it? Yeah.
Whichever one isn't churning out sequel after sequel and completely diluting their own IPs.
I love it. That's the best thing that can happen to anything.
Whichever one of those.
By the way, that's what I love. So Alton Towers was a fucking blast, and nothing can really top that. Maybe apart from doing some more community streaming, buddy. Oh yeah,
he's getting involved. He's giving back.
Giving back to the community,
ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
So streaming once again with Trophy Addicts. Big shout out, thank you, buddy, for that. And the Octopizzle joined us this time for a bit of 20 minutes on the stream. He was like, "Hello, I see you're playing Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Black Cow Edition."
Black Cow.
And he wanted a slice, so we gave it to him.
Very nice. Very nice indeed. Not often the Octopizzle graces the community like that.
Exactly. I know it was more of a pleasure for us than him, I think.
Indeed, of course. He was giving back in his own special way, but possibly a bigger name in gaming than the JfG podcast,
definitely.
the Octopizzle. So,
Octopizzle.
Yeah.
Can we put a petition forward to change his name? Because now, obviously, you can get a free change on PSN. Can we get him to change it to the Octopizzle?
Provided he only wants to play one or two of the sort of 150 titles he's bought over the last few years, then I don't see why there would be any drawback to that.
I feel like it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine.
Change approved. Cool. Yep. Job done. And then finally, buddy, I'm not going to be here next week, and possibly, actually, the Wednesday after. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it, because I fly back on the Wednesday. I don't know what time I get back.
Mate. Well, I'm going to be a busy boy then.
So, you got a lot to do. You got some big shoes to fill.
I've got 2 weeks where I need to do some fucking podcasting, and you won't be around. And then, you're back for a week, and then I'm off for a week.
Yeah.
So,
got to get your holidays in when you can, mate.
You have to, otherwise you kill yourself.
Oh, yeah, it's true. I didn't have a holiday last year. I felt like killing myself. Especially after all the shenanigans of moving several times.
Agreed.
And, just spunking money up the wall. It always makes me feel good. So there you go, buddy. That's my week. Pretty chipper, I would say. One day of fun day, a.k.a. Sunday, which was good. So, how about yours, buddy?
Well,
he's a bit sleepy.
It's the wine. I'm glad you asked. Spoilers. I'm all right. Yeah, I've things to report.
Did you just do a spoilers for the drink?
What I've been drinking?
Fair dues, mate.
Yeah.
Makes sense, really. It is. You spoiled it now. Fucked it.
Gibbons. Of course, like you'll remember, I was talking about the bloody excitement of having friend of the podcast, Funk, moved to my town, buddy. And
Gibbons.
We were going to make the most of his cavernous cranium and extract all that knowledge for our pub quiz team.
Cavernous cranium, I'm just seeing a big empty, cavern filled with nothing.
Well, it's ruined now. But I on the fly, I thought that was pretty. I was going to say seasonal. That was pretty seasonal.
Maybe safe of knowledge, because you think
a safe of knowledge, suggesting there's no way to remove it.
Well, unless you've got the key, buddy, or the combination. If you got the there you go.
So we went to a pub quiz, buddy. That's the long and the short of things. It was the pub quiz night, and we had Funk and his missus involved. And I have to say, bearing in mind the previous pub quiz was our worst ever result, coming in.
Terrible.
Sorry, 6th place. On this occasion, buddy, joint first with a little bit of help from the Funk, and we ended up actually losing on a tie break in the end. But pretty strong performance. New recruits, new blood. And I think next time round, buddy, that fucking £45 is ours. So
nice. So you want.
Yeah, it is. Thankfully, the runners-up prize was 3 bubble wands. We've been having a lot of fun with the bubble wands. I'm not suggesting more fun than the team that got 45 quid.
I mean, that's a few pints. That'll make you
All I
happy.
know is they didn't have any bubble ones, so that's worth thinking about. So yeah, pub quiz, buddy. Pub quiz was great. We had a lovely time. It was fucking sweet as the punch. And then, of course, let's move fast forward through game night, which was an absolute pleasure, of course, buddy.
Always.
Very nice. Thanks very much for that. To Saturday, buddy, which was, of course, some sort of giant piss-up night, because it, of course, was Eurovision. And I presume all of our listeners, the many thousands of them, listened to or watched Eurovision in some shape or form. So
this is actually the first I'm hearing about the results. So if you could let me know.
It was a big win for the Dutch. They're freaky deaky, and I suppose that's what happened there.
Dutch, yeah.
Their song was boring. Most of the songs were quite boring. Lots of slow stuff this year.
Slow jams. Nice.
I was rooting for the Czech Republic. I did mention that before.
Yeah.
Me too,
they came
to the top 10 out of the 24. I have to say, it's the only song that has remained in my head after the competition, suggesting that, maybe there's something in it. Just got to say,
it's
buddy,
all right. Who knows?
The chorus of this song is incredibly catchy. It's called Friend of a Friend. It's by a band called Lake Malawi. And I say band, certainly with bunny ears. And it's a catchy fucking rhythm, buddy, I gotta say. But they didn't win. The Dutch won, so it's off to Holland next time round. And Great Britain, of course, came last.
Of course we did.
We've never been especially popular with the voters of Europe.
Europe don't like us. I don't know why.
Now we're trying to leave the European Union, but we're doing it in the most arduous, sort of clinging onto a ledge way possible,
we're doing a good
to the
job.
point where the whole of Europe, I'm sure, is very sick of hearing about it, as are we. So didn't do very well, but it was a great night for a piss up. We did a pub crawl, and then I cooked dinner. That's always a gamble as to whether that's going to go very well or not, buddy.
It's dangerous.
Did some chicken arrabbiata, and then I did some pan-fried bassa fish, buddy, wrapped in parma ham with thyme sprigs, and it all went very well through pure fluke and the fact that I picked two things that are very, very easy because I knew I'd be shit-faced. So
nice.
There you go.
That's what you want.
Gibbons weekend, Sunday, of course, just recovering from whatever the fuck that all was. And then
whatever happened.
Last night's the only other thing I've done, buddy. Last night I was just sitting here with the missus, and I was thinking, don't know what I'm going to do now. And then I got a message from the Funk, just a picture of a beer saying he was down the Pantiles, flying solo, and did I fancy a beer? And of course I did. I did fancy a beer, buddy.
New Steam Assemble.
And also 4 more. So that was Tuesday, which I've been paying for today. But it's okay because now it's the evening. And
it's true.
It's long since forgotten, if it wasn't already. So there you go, buddy. That's my week. It only really remains for me to very quickly ask what you're drinking this evening, if you may.
Well, this evening, buddy, I'm on the Brewdog Lost Lager. It's a dry hopped Pilsner, 4.7%. And the missus picked me up a couple of large ones for £4 from Tesco. I'm happy with that. I like a good Pilsner, and it's not a bad one.
And who doesn't? And what a wonderful choice, buddy. Very nice indeed.
Gibbons. The wife did
absolutely.
well.
Yeah.
So I hear you're on the wine. What kind of wine? And how is it?
For some reason this evening, and for some reason actually means the missus's aunt and uncle came over bringing alcohol with them.
Nice.
We'd bought better alcohol than what they brought, so it never got drunk, and now it's sitting in the fridge, and I'm working my way through it. And for that reason alone, buddy, this evening I'm drinking Marquesa de la Cruz. It's a very dry rosé wine.
And it goes well with?
Well, let me tell you, buddy. It's a delicious, dry, modern Spanish rosé from Garnacha grapes, grown in mature vineyards on the slopes of Mount Moncayo near Zaragoza.
Oh.
intense aromas with strawberry and raspberry. There's nothing intense about it. With notes of cinnamon and vanilla are followed by ripe fruit flavours and refreshing acidity. Enjoy chilled on its own.
Yeah.
I certainly am.
Yeah.
Or with tapas. I'm not doing that.
No, you're not doing that.
Seafood, paella and spicy foods.
Goes well with a podcast.
Also goes well with sour cream and onion Pringles, buddy.
Oh,
that's what I found.
This week's sponsor. Nice. Like it.
So there we go. That's me. And that's you. And this is a podcast about video games, actually, although there'd be no way of knowing that at this point. But we should probably talk about some. So let's go and do that. So what have you been playing, buddy? Talk about video games. Go.
I dipped my toe back into Destiny 2. There's nothing to see there. There's nothing to see there. I've been playing some more Sea of Thieves, getting my way through those tall tales, buddy. Been scratching my head quite a lot. Sailing around random islands going like, it says south of this. So there's about 4 or 5 islands south of that. I went to all of them, and then we finally figured out, if we look at the picture, that one's got a shark in it, so it was probably Shark Cove, or whatever it was called. Shark Tooth Cove, I think it was. Yeah, it was good fun. I like that game. It's really relaxing. I don't really care what I'm doing. It's cool. We took on the Kraken as well.
Oh, shit.
Fucked
Big
it
deal.
up, mate. Fucked it up. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was really good fun,
Very
actually.
nice.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a different game to what I've been playing recently, and I think that's why I like it. It's a different pace. It's nice and just relaxing, and you can do what you want in it, really. There's not a lot to do, like I've said before, but these tall tales are keeping me. I think I've only done 2 of the 12, so while I've got my 50p 3 months Game Pass, buddy, I'm gonna keep chucking some hours into that game, I think, while I can. And finally, buddy, like I said earlier, I've been playing some Call of Duty 4 Black Cow, or Blackout.
Black Cow.
Yeah, Blackout. I don't know. It's a bit shit, really, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, if you're still not sure about it at this point,
yeah,
you've played a fair bit of it.
Yeah, I have. I'm not. Yeah, no, I don't know. I just don't think I like fucking. Whatchamacallits? What are they called?
Battle
Royales.
Games.
Yeah.
No, neither do I. Neither do I.
A lot of the cases, I play it like a strategic game. Like, you think of Ghost Recon Wildlands, how strategic that game is. And you play this game like this, and half the time, or more than that, I get shot in the back from random situations where I don't know who's behind me. Or I fucking come face to face with a guy and I die. Fuck me, I had one moment, right? I'm inside a building. There's 2 windows, like a corner of a house, 2 windows. This guy comes up in his fucking sports car. He jumps out. I shoot fuck out of him. He runs round I shoot him out one of the windows. He runs around the side. So I turn around and look at the other window. I'm shooting the fuck out of him while he jumps through that window and comes in and stabs me with a knife, and I die. I'm like, right. That makes sense. I've unloaded God knows how many bullets into him. Apparently I got him down to 27 health. He had 150. But, just getting stabbed with a knife, that'll do it. One shot. It's fine. That makes sense.
So it sounds like they've really fixed that body armor problem they were having then.
Yeah, I think taking people down it takes too long. It gives them time to heal up constantly. And yeah, I've done that a couple of times, but majority of the time I'm not in a situation where I can get to cover, or if I do, one of their teammates starts flanking me and things like that. It's I don't know. I don't think the gunplay in that game is very good compared to like Apex. I think the guns in that are easier to use or more user friendly than the ones in Black Cow. I'm not a fan of the auto rifles. Are absolute ball bags in that game. Maybe it's just the ones that I seem to be picking up, by chance. I can't choose what I want to use. Obviously, that would be ridiculous. But I don't know. I'm going to put a few more hours, I think, into this. I was streaming some, like I said, with the Octopizzle. So I'll probably do a few more streams. If you've got any fucking hints and tips about this game, let me know, because I can't be asked to research it. But if you tell me, I might listen. Who knows?
If you tell him, he will know, as the saying goes.
Yeah, if you tell me, I will know. So yeah, Black Cow. I've been thinking about playing a lot more single player games at the moment. I don't know why. I want to try different games. You know, like when we played like Persona and stuff like that.
Yeah, Gibbons.
I want to try random shit, I think. I'm in that kind of mindset now where I've been playing like the same games. I think that's why I'm enjoying Sea of Thieves so much, because it's completely different. I've been playing the same type of game with dipping my toe here and there and everywhere and everything, but not, I don't know. I want to find something and kind of stick about 20, 30 hours into it, just solo, and see how it goes. You know what? I should go and fucking just play Hitman 2, because I haven't finished that. There you go. I'm going to go play Hitman 2. Job done.
That's a good shout. I mean, looking at the release schedule for the next couple of months, there's a bit of a shortage of anything like you're describing, to be honest.
Yeah, there is that.
Probably Wolfenstein Youngblood is going to be the first.
Yeah, I'm really quite looking forward to that after you mentioning it last week. It does look very, very cool.
I still like the look of that thing where you play the space station.
Yeah, Observer or whatever it's called. That does look cool, definitely. But
Gibbons.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have a look at that. Even Rage 2, I'm thinking about. Maybe, hopefully that will go in a sale sometime soon. I can pick that up and just fucking smash that, which kind of could be a bit of fun. So there you go, buddy. Fucking bit of a bummer from me this week in the old games that I've played, unfortunately.
It's not your fault, buddy. It's the games.
No. Yeah, it's the games, buddy. Or maybe it's not, because people enjoy these games. Maybe they're just not for me. Who knows? But Sea of Thieves is cool. But there's not a lot there, like I've said. So what have you been playing, buddy?
Well, I've obviously, as usual, buddy, at the absolute forefront of games that have just arrived. I'm literally on the fucking pulse. I'm dancing on the pulse.
You are the pulse.
I am the pulse, as is so often the case. So this week, buddy, I've been playing 3 games of note. One of those games is Tacoma.
Ooh,
one of those games is Wolfenstein 2. And one of those games is the Lego Movie, the video game.
Ah, right. Start with that, bait, because I know all about it. How'd you find it?
It's a Lego game.
It's a Lego game based on the movie.
Based on the movie.
Have you seen the movie?
I've seen the first film. I haven't seen the second film.
I don't think I've seen the second one yet, actually.
We did watch Lego Batman the other day, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
I haven't seen that one either, to be honest.
That's on, is it on Netflix or Amazon? It's on one of them, anyway.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed that. That was cool. But, this is, it's the first Lego game I've played for about, 8 years or something. So obviously it's come on a long way in that time.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful looking game. I like the sort of hub world thing they've got going on, the fact you can drive vehicles and that sort of thing. And then, apart from that, there's nothing there, is there? It's always the same. It's it's a kid-friendly thing. The missus is a huge fan. I'm not speaking negatively about her IQ or anything. I'm just saying she likes the game, buddy. It's just smash shit. And then, press B to build thing, press Y to throw thing at thing.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing all the time, which is fine. It's absolutely fine, because the game isn't designed for me. But nevertheless, quite enjoyed it. It's a good little diversion. Certainly not gonna play any more of it. Although she is sort of mildly obsessed, so that's fine.
That's what you want.
Yeah, she likes collectibles, buddy. So
I think the one that I really went to town on was Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. For some reason, I wanted to collect everything in that game. I don't know why, but I really enjoyed that game. Pirates of the Caribbean. Who thought it? Eh? Good times.
There you go. Yeah, there's a lot of these games about.
Definitely is.
It's a good game. if you were a kid, you'd be like, this is awesome, probably.
Yeah, like I've got all of them. My kids have played through pretty much every single one. I think there's only a few that I haven't got, like some of the newer ones, like the Marvel Superheroes 2 or whatever it is. I don't think I've got that one. But even the, what was it called? The fucking one with the Toys to Life Dimensions, was it? Lego Dementia.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, Lego Dementia. Yeah, the unfortunately named short-lived project.
Yeah, that was really cool. Like that like I thought that had a lot of legs to it, but obviously it didn't because it came out way too late in the Toys to Life.
Yes.
Or Toys to Toys to Life, isn't it? Situation.
They didn't get there in time, which is unfortunate.
No.
But yeah,
maybe, yeah.
If you're looking for a Lego game, then this is a Lego game.
That's true. You're not wrong. Box quote.
That's the Lego movie, the game. Elsewhere, I've been playing Wolfenstein 2.
Ooh.
And I had forgotten that I'd played. There must have been a demo or a timed thing or something on the PlayStation Store because I had played the opening of this game. But I'd forgotten that. Either way, I didn't actually complete the first one either, and by the first one I mean the first reboot, because that's how the world is now. I think I got like 75% of the way through that first game, and I don't know, I just sort of something must have come out, or I just wasn't, This thing is much better than the first game, in my opinion. The story's certainly more compelling. It's more ludicrous. It's a pretty fucking great experience, if I'm honest. Like, I'm really enjoying working my way through it. It runs surprisingly well on my little shit heap, which is nice. Obviously, it's probably running at like 320p or something, but either way, it runs nicely enough, and it's just fun. It's just a stupid action movie. It's got that sort of alt history twist to it. And I'm looking forward to getting a little bit further through it, because you sort of end up in like, a sort of semi sort of 50s American type thing where they've kind of lost to the Germans, and that's quite interesting, the way that they do that. But it's also, it really doesn't pull any punches. Like, some of the stuff that it does is pretty graphic, pretty sort of distressing to if you're sort of a weak disposition. It's just very good. It's just a very good game. It's quite hard, and I remember them saying that at the time. I think I'm playing on like middle difficulty, and it's kicking my ass quite a lot. Like, I don't play that many shooters anymore, but it's doing a bit of a job on me at times as I'm getting back into remembering I need to have reactions and shit for a video game. So yeah, it's cool, man. I really like it, and it's another really strong addition to Game Pass on the console. Games like that, it just kind of makes a mockery of the whole PS Plus games with gold thing. The stuff that's coming out on Game Pass, and the sort of steady stream of it as well. It's pretty special. So yeah, that's Wolfenstein, buddy.
Nice, buddy.
Gibbons. So finally, Tacoma. I've been playing Tacoma. I've probably played 2.5 hours of Tacoma, something like that.
Okay.
I was really looking forward to this, and I'm a little bit disappointed with it, if I'm honest. I was looking forward to interesting story-driven mystery set on a space station, and it is that. It is, but with what feels like pretty drastic limitations, in that they've got it set up in a way where you can view sort of semi-holographic memories from things that happened on the ship, and you're kind of trying to piece it back together. So you're almost playing like a sort of detective type, coupled with some sort of interesting AI quirks. It's quite well written and quite well acted, and that's all good and lovely, but it's just not very engaging when you're just wandering around this empty space, Like, walking simulators have always had this issue where it kind of just feels like you're wandering a museum with some dialogue playing over the top of it. The absolute perfect example, a game that I cannot remember the name of right now, but it was the one set in I know what developer made it. It was the Chinese Room, I think. And it was set in a British village. Do you remember this? And there were lots of little wisps, like little wisps hanging around. Everybody's gone to the Rapture. Yeah, everyone's gone to the Rapture.
That's the one.
game.
Redemption. You know it.
This is that game on a space station, and that's great. And there's loads of source material to read and stuff. It's all very cleverly designed. It's very nice and quite interesting. But I kind of feel like I've seen it all before. I was kind of expecting something a little bit more exciting. And I just think having absolutely no interaction with NPCs in a walking sim, it really can kill the game. And unfortunately, only a few weeks before playing this, I played through start to finish What Remains of Edith Finch. Which is a walking simulator with no real NPC contact in it, but is just a pure innovation of wonderful game mechanics and vibrant storytelling and vibrant colours and just incredibly interesting, a narrative that makes you really care about characters you never even meet. And that's a problem when you play Tacoma, because it does not manage to reach those heights.
We've got Dave Russell in the YouTube chat saying agree about Tacoma. It's very, very underwhelming, and he chips in with telling us also that it's called Everyone's Gone to the Rapture as well. There,
Gibbons. It's just a shame. I was excited. I know that had development issues. I think they basically made the game and then sort of 6 months before launch, delayed it, ripped the whole fucking thing up, and kind of started again with just the engine build. That's always
a good idea. That is,
and obviously, maybe the game that they've ended up with is far better than the game they would have ended up with had they not done that. But to the sort of money that was wasted, the sort of development time that was wasted, you have to worry, as to the quality of a product at the end of that. And I think this suffers quite horrendously because of it. It just becomes quite boring. And they can't be boring. A walking sim can't be boring. It doesn't have any fucking mechanics. Like, it can't be boring as well. It has to be engaging from a narrative point of view.
Because that's the whole point of it. Exactly. It's about finding stuff out. And that's what keeps you, entertained. Be it story or the environment you're in or anything. Like, interactivity as well is a big thing with these games.
Yeah,
I find anyway.
And going back to Edith Finch, the acting and the script in that game is brilliant, absolutely bright and airy and engaging and wonderful. And this doesn't get there. And some of the acting's a little bit off, and some of the scripting's a little bit off. And you get to the point where it's basically not really doing anything really, really well. It's doing a lot of things competently. But there's just especially when it's on Game Pass as well. I haven't paid for this in a traditional sense. And as such, I just don't feel the attachment to it. And I find that with Game Pass games, and that's going to be the case with subscription services going forwards, you don't have the investment that you would in a game that you've spent your hard-earned on. That makes it more difficult for a game to hold your attention. It's all kind of a little bit sad, really, because that's this sort of quick throwaway world we live in at the Battle Royale. The 2-minute Battle Royale experience being the perfect example of that.
It's horrible.
Attention spans when you go down the pub with your friends and they're all buried in their fucking phones.
No, I don't.
It's, I'm starting to sound like some old cunt now, but
we're getting there,
everyone knows
buddy.
where I'm going.
We're on the way. We're getting there, being old. We're trying.
Yeah. A final shouty shout for What Remains of Edith Finch. I know I've gone on about it a fair bit. It's a fucking masterpiece, that game, and everyone should play it. I don't care if you don't like walking sims, if you don't like narrative stuff. It's cool and clever and fun and not that long, and just a brilliant game.
He loves it.
That's what you should play. Don't play Tacoma. They're both on the Game Pass. It's all there for you, buddies.
You should play Firewatch. That's a good game.
Firewatch is a fucking great game. I watched that. I watched the end of that no-clip documentary on Telltale this week. I mentioned it last week that it was on there, and I sort of watched a little bit of it. Very, very interesting. yeah, just hearing about the rise and fall of that studio from the standpoint of like 4 employees, it was a pleasure, and it was really quite measured as best as it can be when a company's gone under and a load of people have been fucked over.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't super biased. They were talking about like the good times they had and not necessarily like blaming everyone and stuff. So yeah, well worth a watch. But yeah, obviously the only reason that I mentioned that is Firewatch creators Campo Santo. They were the original creators of the Walking Dead games at Telltale before leaving to form a studio and
there you go, buddy. Well,
Firewatch.
fucking, that's bringing it round. That is nicely done.
And I've waffled long enough, so I think we should probably move on, buddy.
Cool.
And now it's time for the news.
Fucking news.
Number one. Fucking Grid, buddy. We were talking about Cody's. We were talking about Cody's last week. I was saying probably closest I've got to like a favourite development studio is Codemasters. They've been making excellent racing games since I was very, very young. They haven't released many games that I thought were bad or I didn't like. I was having a look at this after the last week's show, and holy shit, man! Like their back catalogue, pretty special. Like pretty special. In fact, I'm just gonna run through this very quickly right now. They released their first game the year I was born. I can't really speak to its quality. It was called Super Robin Hood. But let's work our way through.
Sounds fucking mega though.
They released Dizzy, like
what,
that egg. Yeah. The ultimate cartoon adventure. Pretty special. Let's get through to sort of where our era starts. Lots of Dizzy games. Pretty cool. Fantasy World Dizzy. Fucking all those Dizzies.
Gotta rinse it, mate. Gotta get it out there.
Absolutely. Moving into a fairly prolific time. Then 1991. Let's put a pin in 91, buddy.
Here we go.
Micro Machines.
Oh, good times.
Yeah, Micro Machines 91. Let's work our way through another big hit, Micro Machines 2, a couple of years later. Pete Sampras Tennis on the Mega Drive.
Oh.
Brian Lara Cricket 96. Joe Nalomu Rugby.
Now that was a good game.
And then TOCA Touring Car Championship. Colin McRae Rally. Brian Lara 99. TOCA 2. No Fear Downhill Mountain Biking.
We were talking about that.
Colin McRae 2.0. Operation Flashpoint, a tactical shooter that everyone forgot they made. That was a good game.
Oh, they made the second one. Was it something Storm Red? Something?
Operation Red Storm or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, focusing on their racing games.
They were really good, those games.
Pro Race Driver, TOCA Race Driver, Colin McRae 3, TOCA Race Driver 2, IndyCar. Then they had Colin McRae 2005. And then we get into real Race Town at this point, after they released Bubble Bobble Revolution in 2006.
Like you do.
We got the first Dirt game arrives, and then Grid, the Grid series arrives.
Yeah.
Then the F1 games. After Colin McRae Dirt 2, we head into F1 2009.
Yeah, didn't EA have F1 before?
Yeah, they were pissing that license away for
they didn't
many
do great
years.
with that. Yeah.
No. And then you got all the F1 games, you got the Grid games, F1 Race Stars, Grid Auto Sport, Toy Box Turbos, Dirt Rally.
He's so happy right now, just
honestly,
looking at it. This is the happiest I've ever heard him on the podcast.
Just brilliant.
214 episodes.
Fast forward to right this very moment, buddy, and Codemasters has revealed an all-new Grid game. Bearing in mind of all of the racing games I've been playing on the Xbox with my my cheeky little drive hub, that Grid 2 game, I love that. It's fucking awesome. it didn't review at all well, but I think looking back, it's class. Like, really, really like it. So we've got a new grid. Not only have we got a new grid, but it's launching on the 13th of September this year. There's a trailer out for it already. It looks fucking cool. There's also several gameplay videos. And it's an arcadey, street racy, drifting racing game, buddy, that will work with our wheels. And it might be the absolute thing that we've been kind of pining for some time.
I fucking hope so, because you know how much I want some sort of arcadey racer. I mean, I think we've mentioned before, the only ones really like Drive Club and stuff like that, I guess. But, you know, like, these guys know how to make a racing game. They've done it in the past quite well. They make one of our favourite franchises, being F1. And, yeah, I can only wait to see what happens with this.
Gibbons, buddy, and you know who else knows a lot about racing? Fernando Alonso, one of the greatest men on earth, and he is the chief technical consultant for the new Grid game. So, yeah, there you go.
Nice. That's what you want.
What could you want?
Nothing.
Fucking Grid, mate. Beautiful.
Nothing more.
A new racing game coming out. I am very excited. Yes, we will inevitably buy that. And that this podcast will probably be the only podcast that leads with that in their news section. in a week where, number 2, Sony and Microsoft announced that they are teaming up on a new cloud solution program.
I love the cloud.
Collaborating on cloud-based solutions for gaming experiences and content streaming. I've got some quotes here. It was like a sort of Dutch rudder situation where they were sort of, you know, wanking each other off. So yeah, this is Kenichiro Yoshida, from the president and CEO of Sony, saying, "For many years, Microsoft has been a key business partner for us, though of course the two companies have always been competing in some areas. I believe that our joint development of future cloud solutions will contribute greatly to the advancement of interactive content."
Interactive content. Yeah, okay, sure.
Meanwhile, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said, "Sony has always been a leader in both entertainment and technology, and the collaboration we announced today builds on this history of innovation. Our partnership brings the power of Azure and Azure AI to Sony to deliver new gaming and entertainment experiences for customers." What the fuck is going on, buddy? That was the end of the quote before the "what the fuck is going on, buddy," by the way. He didn't just, you know, sounds like he was attacked by a wasp as he was giving the interview or something. No, that's me saying that, buddy. What the fuck is going on, buddy? What's all this? And I'm not the only person to say what's all this, because it would appear that this was a decision made very high up in both businesses, to the point where the gaming divisions, Sony Gaming, like PlayStation,
PlayStation and Xbox.
Team Xbox, didn't necessarily know that this was happening until it was announced.
Yeah, they didn't really know anything about that, which is weird.
It's really weird,
wouldn't you think? Yeah, a bit weird that.
So we really don't know anything at the moment about what they're going to be doing. No. It was very odd to see the heads of those two organisations like properly like wanking each other off and shaking hands and so on. Obviously that is exciting, what they could do for gaming as a team with the resources that they have combined. Much like a sort of a Zord, I suppose. But
nice. Yeah.
What do you make of this, buddy? What do you think?
I don't know. Like you say, we don't really know much about it. I mean, Sony have already got their fucking bloody blah streaming service, whatever it was called, that they bought out ages ago, that runs PS Now.
Yeah.
So I really don't know. There's also talks of Nintendo getting involved with this with Microsoft as well.
Yeah.
Looking for some sort of Nintendo platform, I guess, to get all their games out, streaming and things. So I don't know. Like, we know it's the future; it's going to happen. But this is just odd. Like, when I first saw it, I just thought, "What the fuck?" Like, no idea. Like, and like you said, like, the strangest thing is, like, the gaming divisions didn't even know about this. And that's even weirder. Unless it's not, the deal's not really about gaming.
Well, they say gaming and entertainment specifically. So
yeah, that's true.
It's cloud solutions for gaming and entertainment.
Yeah, there's like the whole discussion about because like they're doing it because Google Stadia is going to be, well, it's already been announced, but there's going to be demos of that coming out at E3, I'm guessing, or around that time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're trying to jump the gun on shit like that. I don't know.
Well, either way, it's weird, and it's interesting and it's exciting because I've got no real allegiance to either business. And yeah, there's no room for fanboys when it comes to the JfG podcast.
It's true, buddy.
So yeah, this is exciting. All I can think is that Sony's got some sort of leg up infrastructure wise, and Microsoft's got some sort of leg up technology wise, and they had a chat and ended up doing a deal. Or perhaps those CEOs, buddy, they just got fucked up. They went to like a titty bar. They snorted some coke off of someone's bum. And this is or the result. And it's no takesy backs. It's too late now. They have to work
signed
together.
it on a napkin. Binding deal.
Yeah,
job done.
Whatever happened.
Bigger news, buddy. Though, fucking bigger news than that. Fucking JJ is in the chat, right? Meow. That's our beautiful benefactor from across the pond, buddy. He doesn't come here very often in the live chat. He must be on a break or sacking off work, I'm guessing. Either or.
Yeah.
And no, he jumped in earlier when you were, bumming on about code masters and stuff.
Yep.
And he just writes in saying, "Used to be dice. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself becoming a villain." I'm like, what are you on about? And he's like, "Oh, sorry, I thought you were on about the bit about where we talk about our favourite developers, not the news." But yeah, he's jumped in. So there you go. JJ's favourite developer back in the day used to be DICE. I like that.
No, that's
they
fair.
Used to be good. They
were an exciting studio.
Indeed, buddy. Sorry, that was big news for me. How about you?
There you are. Yeah, thanks very much for that. Many revelations. JJ likes DICE. Sony and Microsoft are working together. One of them I kind of saw coming, the other one I didn't, and I'll let you decide which one was which. Moving on in the news, buddy. Eurogamer continues to quote physical sales each time a game comes out, as if that's any fucking relevance whatsoever. Of course it isn't. But as such, clickbait headline of Rage 2 sales being down 50% on Rages, which is utterly meaningless. God knows what the market share was digitally when the original Rage came out. Probably not particularly high, seeing as that came out on consoles that didn't support physical, like digital downloads on full-size titles. So, not especially relevant. But either way, it does look as though Rage 2 hasn't done especially well. This does surprise me a little bit because there's not a great deal of competition right now.
No.
So I kind of thought it might almost sneak into a sort of very, very early golden released, Dead Island syndrome.
Possibly.
That hasn't been the case at all by the looks of things. Mixed reviews. We'll have a little bit from JJ in Street Beat about Rage, so he can fill us in, and I'll leave it there for now. But it doesn't sound like it's sold particularly well, but how badly is not something that you can describe using physical sales, because that's pointless. You can't keep publishing stories, Eurogamer, about how like digital's now
sales
75-80% fucking, and then only post statistics from physical. Like, just because that's all you can get your hands on. If that's the case, then you just need to stop posting about fucking sales. I know you're short of content because you're a gaming website and there isn't really any news, as everyone's discovering in this very moment on our podcast. But, yeah, it's not really news. So, yeah, anyway, we'll move on to this interesting little tidbit, buddy. VR dev Maze Theory has now announced that it's working on a full-length VR adventure game, official licensed Doctor Who game for the Oculus Rift, Vive and PS4 for some reason. That's, being described as a dramatic feature-length game. There's some sort of info in there. I mean, Maze Theory, they've also been making a Peaky Blinders VR game, which is coming out shortly as well. This is called Doctor Who: The Edge of Time. It's fully backed by the B, and it's got the whole actual casting. So yeah, there you are. I don't know if anyone cares about that. Is that a hard no?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just thought I'd mention it. Okay. And then finally, buddy, from me, the more exciting, I would say, George R.R. Martin. He's the talk of the toon. Obviously, Game of Thrones has been on the televisions and finishing
the telly
up
bumps, yeah.
all of that shit, and everyone's talking about it, and so on and so forth. There's been a rumour circulating for some time that From Software is making a Game of Thrones game. And I think that this originally stemmed from the idea that, on paper, if someone were to make a Game of Thrones game, that should probably be From Software. In my head, at least. If someone had asked me with no previous knowledge, what developer can you think of to make a Game of Thrones game, I would have said From, definitely. Because there's so many parallels between the show, the books, and the sort of worlds that they create and how cutthroat and bastardized they are. Anyway, this rumour's been gathering traction for some time. There's still nothing concrete, but George R.R. Martin was asked about it in a couple of interviews this week, and he sort of dropped a few hints and sort of suggested that it might be a thing. He's got a track record of doing shit like that, so I don't know if that actually means anything, but it's starting to sound like that could be a thing. What do you make of that, B?
Yeah. I don't know. Isn't there? There's already... No, there was the fucking Telltale game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That they did. And
I mean, think about Bloodborne, and now think about giving that studio the Game of Thrones license and what they could maybe do with it. I think that's kind of exciting, actually.
I can kind of see the thing with I'm just thinking about Game of Thrones. It's it's the whole different storylines and things like that. You're always looking from different perspectives. Would that be the kind of game that you'd want? Or, whereas with, your Dark Souls, obviously you're just one character going from here to there or whatever. Not just fucking saying it like that, but... No,
you're right. It's a very good point.
One character. Whereas if you want a true Game of Thrones, I guess, experience, you need to go from this person's perspective, then that one's, and that one's. That might be a cool way, and then you could have multiple choices throughout the way. You could say, oh my god, I'm seeing it as a fucking either a Civilization game or some kind of RTS now, which I don't think would be a good idea.
That'd be interesting as well. I don't know. I think you've got a fair point with the pacing of it. The reason that Game of Thrones works is because of the way that it dots about.
Yeah.
It's important that it takes people a long time to get places because it's supposed to be this vast epic, and that has to be the way. I think there's valid points for both styles of game with that, having that title above it. Yeah, definitely. well, obviously we'll bring you more on that if there is any more on that going forward. But I think that could be something quite. Yeah, no, definitely.
I think it could be something very, very interesting and pretty special, to be honest.
Gibbons. So yeah, that's me, buddy. That's my news. I think it's time for me to head over to your news section, buddy. The listener's favourite section, I'm sure. Certainly mine.
Obviously.
And that, of course, is Ash's News Favourite Things of the Week.
If you like news but hate information, you have found the right place. Ash's News Favourite Thing of the Week.
Cheers, buddy. Here we go. Some quickfire news coming at you while I just get rid of some of this shit because we've already spoken about it. I should really do this before my section starts, but that wouldn't be like me. Okay, buddy, here we go. Fucking the Division 2 raid dropped this week, and I believe it took console players over 36 hours to complete it. PC players did it in about 5 hours. So Ubisoft are considering the Division 2 raid difficulty tweaks. I think they need to address that maybe. But then again, it's meant to be fucking hard. The main issue with it, for anyone that cares, so probably not a lot of people, is with the Division, obviously you spend a lot of time getting all your gear, and JJ's just put PC Master Race in the chat. Thanks, mate. A lot of people spend a hell of a lot of time developing their builds for certain things, like, certain roles. So like if you're a healer or whatever, or you're like a tank, so you're doing ultimate damage, all different things. And pretty much this raid could only be completed. This is like an 8-man raid without matchmaking as well. So you have to have like 7 friends or 7 people, to get into. And pretty much all of them had to have a DPS build. So it was just like damage. And a lot of people are not happy about that. But I won't go into it anymore. So it was a bit retarded on their behalf. Let's just put it that way.
Which seems dumb, because it's not like they haven't had many excellent examples of raids from a myriad of other games. Like, I don't understand how these people keep like falling over when there's so much like. It just seems like it must be so insular. Like, why haven't they looked at anything else and been like, hang on a second? Like, something drops like this, and do you not just think, like, how the fuck have they managed to, like, balls that in this specific way?
Definitely, because kind of it's not like they haven't had time to test it out, and they know what the community are building.
With the game.
But then again, by the time they're testing it and the game's already out, and obviously they've been building this for a long time, like the player base are developing their builds in certain ways, and maybe the devs didn't think that more people would be doing these creative build types. Maybe they thought, everyone's just going to go for damage because that's what I fucking went for, because I just want to inflict the most amount of damage you can. But you have like support roles and all kind of different things to make like a team work or whatever. But it should be accessible by all and have multiple ways of like achieving the end game, or not end game, but the end goal.
Yeah, totally. And I'm sure that they'll get better at it. It's their first sort of foray into proper raids, isn't it? So
yeah, true.
I'm sure that
so
things
see when it happens. Yeah. But one of the big things is when it came out, or before it came out, they said everything in the Division 2 will be matchmaking, or you can do matchmaking, and obviously this hasn't got matchmaking, so that's dumb. Okay, going on to Ubisoft being dumb. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, the new Ghost Recon when it comes out, has an always online requirement, so you can't play it offline. So, I mean,
great.
Most games are. Yeah, you can't play it offline. A lot of games are, like, obviously, like Destiny. I don't know if the Division 2 is online. I'm guessing it is, because you have to connect to the servers and stuff. So, to be honest, I don't know why I thought this was big news. It's not, because it's in my section, so it's not big news. So, yeah, that's something to think about if you're thinking about getting the new Ghost Recon whenever it comes out.
Gibbons.
Next, buddy, Activision fires Sledgehammer which are the people that did Call of Duty, I think, didn't they? I can't remember.
Yeah,
they did part
it looks
of Call of Duty, but they fucked it up loads.
Treyarch's very much the
top dog
brass at this point, for better or worse. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing there. I mean, that's one of the things that the Telltale people were saying in those interviews. They were like, they don't know whether they want to work in the games industry in general because, like, their company went fucking under through terrible management from the top. But Activision are closing fucking, like 400 people lost their jobs at Activision in the last year. It's one of the most profitable fucking gaming setups on earth. Like, it just seems mad, doesn't it? Like, no one's safe anywhere was the point they were trying to make. And it's like,
yep,
I don't understand. Like, it's crazy. Fucking weird business. But yeah, like, Treyarch stepping up. And they've kind of been the fucking top dog for a while, haven't they, really? Let's be honest.
Yeah, they've been getting the shit done.
Gibbons.
Yeah. What have we got? That's going to be saved to the end because that's a funny one. Minecraft reaches massive new sales milestone. So now we don't know the actual... Well, I know the actual amount of Minecraft copies sold is 176 million copies sold.
God.
And that's with, I believe, 20 million in the last year. So it's not like it's stopping. Now, I remember ages ago I was looking at game sales, and the top game ever sold. We did it on a quiz, didn't we? I think ages ago, and it was Tetris. I think it was on Wikipedia or something, which is where I get all my facts from because they're so real. It's sold around about 175 million copies. But then there's people saying what type of Tetris, blah, blah, blah. And it could be in the region of like 400 million with all of them together. But anyway, so technically, Minecraft could be now the highest selling video game of all time.
That's mental.
Yep.
That's like absolutely crazy. But what an absolutely wonderful game. Like, what a wonderful game, and suitable for, like, everyone.
Yeah. So, here's a nice little fact for you. The game has sold a copy in nearly every country in the world. This includes at least 4 copies sold in Antarctica.
There you go. Very nice. Gibbons, man.
I thought that was quite nice. Yeah. Anyway, Minecraft.
Crazy.
Still selling shitloads like it does.
Gibbons.
Bit of news on PlayStation. PlayStation 5, buddy. Here we go. So some news came out this week. PlayStation 5 can play with PS4 players using backwards compatibility. Sony's confirmed this now, which is good news, I guess. So
it's very good news. The more backwards compatibility stuff, the better.
Yeah, man. Especially in the early days when, like, one of us, two of us might buy a PS5 or whatever, and then the rest of our mates are still on PS4. It just keeps that community together, and it's not pressuring anyone else into jumping the gun like fucking I'm definitely going to. As
me
always.
too, obviously. And I mean, it does that marketing for you as well, doesn't it? Because as soon as one member of like a group or a crew or whatever fucking jumps over, and then they're just harping on about it all the time, how brilliant it is to the people playing on the fucking shit tip console from the past. And it's like, everyone's eventually going to move over as well. I mean, the more backwards compatibility, the better. And obviously we know that the platforms are going to become a service, and this is another step towards that, Like, I know it's a new console coming out with powerful hardware on this occasion, but it's making it closer and closer to the sort of Android sort of thing of here's your operating system and here are incrementally better devices to use it on. So yeah, it's one step away from streaming. I've got no problem with that. I don't think you do either. We've talked about it before.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
The next bit of news about the PS5, I don't know if you see it, you probably did. There was a bit of a video from one of Sony's like press thingy, not press conferences, but like little fucking meetings or whatever.
Yeah.
Showing off the loading times.
Someone's naughty.
Sounds a bit naughty here, but I'm happy that person's a bit naughty. So they're showing the Spider-Man running on a next generation, whatever it is. So that'd be the PS5 compared to the PS4 Pro. And those loading times are fucking stupidly quick.
And interesting that they were showing it off running on a straight like SSD. Whether that's some sort of clue as to the kind of storage you're going to get in these new systems. Obviously, we were talking about that a few weeks ago, what we thought would be their decisions on hard drives and stuff. But fucking rapid, wasn't it?
Whatever it is doing the fucking job. So this is showing that it's loading in like not even a second, less than a second. And the PS4 Pro is taking 8 seconds to load that. So it's incredible, really. The fucking speeds of this thing. If it's true, that would be good. If not, it's just all fucking propaganda. As always, buddy. Which I love.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Hard Gibbon.
So finally, buddy. This is a sad one. It's a really sad one. Do you remember the Ouya? That
I
Android
do remember
box.
the Ouya, yes, I do. Yeah.
So Razer are closing the Ouya store, buddy. Officially killing the console. Just gonna pour one out for my homie.
Yeah, that didn't go very well, did it?
No, it didn't, because that was a pile of shite.
That was a Kickstarter when Kickstarter was kind of in its infancy.
Yeah, $8.5 million in crowdfunding. There you go. Those people were fucking dumb. Launched in June 25th. This is like one of those things at the end where a montage or whatever. Where, maybe a eulogy. Who knows? The console launched to the public in June 25th, 2013 at a price of $99 and sold poorly.
Is that because it wasn't any more powerful than my phone?
Yeah, true. Ouya was supplemented with a $25 million capital from 2013 to 2015. And the company's sales were mainly so those investors could get something back from their money. Razer bought Ouya in June 2015.
For some reason.
But it did not acquire the company's hardware assets. The company later said it would pay about $600,000 that Ouya had left unpaid from its troubled Free the Games initiative. There you go. I don't really know what Free the Games initiative was.
No.
Bit of shite really there. Yeah.
No cunt does, buddy. Because do you know who bought an Ouya?
No fucking cunt.
No cunt. So sad news though, buddy. All these exciting consoles, past and present and future, always had a soft spot for the N-Gage. But yeah, the Ouya kind of not really doing it. Then the absolute devastating news we've had recently suggesting that the Mad Box might not actually come out at all. Which no one could have foreseen.
Don't you fucking dare, mate.
No one could have envisaged.
I have high hopes for the Mad Box. They'll be there.
Anyway. Kind of before a cautionary tale for Kickstarters, long before people realised how terrible they could go. And this was a good example of one that didn't go especially well.
No. So there you go, buddy. That's my news favourite things for this week.
Well, thanks so much, buddy. That was your news. Before that, of course, was my news, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was the news. And now it's time for Out This Week.
Let's take a look at some games coming out this week. Probably filled with microtransactions, loot crates, and pay-to-win mechanics. Because fuck you all. Fuck you all. Fuck you all. Fuck you all. Buy our shit.
That's out this week.
Sure is, buddy. And fuck all's out this week, really. 3 games. There are other games. They are not games that I'm going to mention. We're talking sort of, I have to make the weekly cut of all of the sort of weird Japanese schoolgirl RPGs and all of that sort
Big
of
fan.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
What it is a good week for is PlayStation VR users, because we've got Blood and Truth finally arriving this week, buddy, which is very exciting indeed. Obviously massive, it's the London Studios game. It's the game that I think most PSVR users have been waiting for since the fucking thing launched. Really excited to play it. I'm not sure whether we'll pick that up straight away or not, but I'm just super excited to get on that thing.
I still haven't fucking fired up that first one. That's my aim before I go on holiday, is to do some fucking VR.
Yeah, man.
Need to just play the demo disc or whatever it was.
Yeah, like that London heist, all of those. That demo, the whole thing lasts about half an hour, and it's really fun and really impressive. It's great stuff. So well worth a look, especially before this one comes out, because I mean, I've got high hopes for this, and I'll probably be disappointed. I won't be surprised by that, buddy, because I'm an adult. But at the same time, I still hope that it's going to be great. And also, what I think might be great, something that we did mention relatively recently, I think, on the show, is Trover Saves the World. This is from the dude who makes, what's it called, the cartoon that everyone really likes?
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. It's a video game from the creator of Rick and Morty. What? It's a VR game.
Video games.
It's
weird as fuck.
Justin Roiland is the name that I was trying to get to. This game looks really funny. It just looks very much in the same vein of comedy as Rick and Morty, and it's fully VR, full VR adventure. I don't know how long the thing is, but it does look fucking funny. It's all completely voice acted by that cast, and really weird looking, very funny little trailer for it online you can have a look at, and that's 2 PSVR titles, buddy, that we might have to have a little investigate and get stuck in on, perhaps.
I like the sound of that.
And then the big one this week, buddy, the big release, of course. We've had a few AAA titles coming out over the last few months. Not very many, but it's all kind of been leading up to this. And that, of course, is the brand new Switch release, Little Friends, Dogs and Cats.
Fucking, there's no words that can explain my emotions right now.
No, I'm not even going to try. But what I can tell you is, that's out this week, buddy.
Oh, nice.
And now it's time for Fuckwit Corner.
Fuckwit Corner with funk. Fuckwit Corner with funk. He's got some questions. Funk.
Has he got any questions?
Funk's just got this little blurb, which I rather like. He says the following. I took a punt and picked up Shadow of War in the sale in an attempt to cheaply scratch my single-player itch. It's fucking brilliant.
There you go.
It's like Assassin's Creed and Lord of the Rings all mashed up. I'm loving it. Who knew?
Who did know? Or know, even?
No one knew.
No one knew. Now we know.
Now we knew. So there, Funk's playing Shadow of War. That is a game that is on Xbox Game Pass. So perhaps that's something that I should download and have a little go of.
Probably a good shout.
Did you play any of Shadow of Mordor, buddy? Did you ever get around to playing any of that on PC or anything like that?
Yeah, I thought it was a pile of wank.
Obviously, this isn't that game. You know, this is the sequel to that game. But I did.
towers everywhere. I was like, oh, okay. Towers, eh? Got ya. I've been here before.
Yeah, I mean, we heard a lot about the Nemesis system, didn't we, from that first game? I don't know. I mean, what I've seen of Shadow of War, it looks quite cool. Obviously, it ran into a hell of a lot of trouble with slightly dodgy business practices of Warner Brothers when it first came out. Namely, putting a member of the development team who had died into the game and then flogging him as DLC.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah, which they eventually sort of... I think it was supposed to be for charity, and then someone kind of realised that the way they were doing it, not all of it was going to go to charity, and they eventually remedied that. Also, sort of, didn't they patch out like all loot crate bollocks as well from that game, like after launch? So it's probably now's the time. Like Funk's got the right idea. Now's the time to buy Shadow of War.
To get involved on that, yeah, exactly.
It's 10 times the game it was at launch. But yeah, no, it's certainly piqued my interest. I might have to have a little go, buddy.
Might as well, buddy. It's there for you. It's for the taking.
It's there for the taking, Gibbons. So yeah, thanks very much for that, Funk.
Every week, we end the show with questions and comments sent in by you. If you've got anything for us, just pop an email to the JfG Podcast at gmail.com or contact us on Facebook, Twitter, or at justforgamers.co.uk.
And now it's time for JfG Street Beat.
You got a question we wanna know. Beat. Facebook, Twitter, we're on them all. So hit us up and be on the show. Beat. The JfG Street Beat.
Street Beat.
We wanna know.
And get on the show.
And
Getting on the show.
getting on the show is JJ, buddy, as I mentioned earlier, with his first impressions on Rage 2. So here
Let us know.
This is obviously
Get on the show.
He's let us know. He's got on the show. He's literally done exactly what we hoped he would, and that's why we're such huge fans of his. Worth noting also this week, JJ has some sort of 5-day vacation, looking to play lots of Rage 2.
And obviously he's spending that time listening to this podcast.
And having a bit of a fucking drink, buddy, judging by the picture he's got in the Discord of one of my favourite looking ales, buddy, the Arrogant Bastard Ale, which...
He likes that, yeah.
That looks good. And what's this other one he's got there?
The Spinal Tapper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a bit of that. I can't read this horny something, but I'm sure... Horny...
Yeah, I'm struggling.
Mona?
Getting my head closer.
I don't know.
No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen for me. It's horny something, and obviously that sounds excellent.
Definitely. I mean, I need a bit of that in my life.
Indeed, we all do, buddy. It'll give us all a bit of vim and vigour. Meanwhile, JJ, first impressions on Rage 2, he says this. Solid as fuck combat, skin deep. Think this is a test run for Rage 3 or a massive update or DLC. Right now, it's basically a Far Cry with Doom combat and a meh story. What it needs to be is either a Division 2 where you're constantly in combat, or make the story as insane as Wolfenstein 2. You could just nuke through the map if you were constantly running into enemies. Make it like the trailer. If it were a story like the trailer, you'd be compelled to see what crazy shit is going to happen next. There's really good stuff, but also very disappointing stuff. Could have been a great game. Yeah, that's kind of what we're hearing.
That's pretty much the roundup that I've been hearing about the place as well.
Very mixed, lots of promise. Obviously has that combat, but everything perhaps a little spaced out to the point where it takes the edge off of. It's always difficult, you know, open world Doom sounded fucking awesome, but you've got to kind of daisy chain all that together. And the thing about Doom was these sort of, you know, this fucking heart racing sort of choreography that they were able to funnel you into because of how linear it was, and perhaps that's one of the issues here. I'm kind of sad to hear it. I mean, a lot of people said it's, you know, I mean, this is got that Mad Max thing going on to a degree, but everyone's saying it's a much better game than that, and I quite enjoyed a little bit of that. So certainly not like not going to be like a flop or anything. This, but
no.
At the same time, I was a tiny bit surprised when they announced this, because the first game, it didn't seem like it had done particularly well, or that anyone had really remembered it fondly. I know they've only got so many IPs, but yeah, I mean, it looked wonderful from the trailer, and obviously that, that combat.
Yeah, the environment and the settings and everything, it looks really cool. I think visually they've done an outstanding job. It's just to say it's lacking elsewhere, unfortunately.
Do you think it could still scratch your itch? Would you still consider picking it up? I mean, it's probably more likely with the sort of sales that we're hearing allegedly to sort of drop down quicker. Do you think it's something you might be able to get into?
I said earlier, I'm looking for some sort of single player thing to just plow a few hours into, and this could be it. I like shooters, so therefore, yeah, maybe I would. Who knows?
Yeah, Gibbons, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thanks very much for that, JJ, and enjoy your beers and enjoy your time off. Fucking well deserved. Beautiful stuff. What else we got on the agenda this week, buddy? We had some sort of Sharpedo in the Discord this week. What happened there?
We did. Mike Strider is in the Discord, just writing the word Sharpedo. I can't remember what episode that was from. Like 200, I guess.
He's been catching up, gradually.
Yeah, he's getting there. So yeah, Sharpedo, buddy. It's always nice to hear it. I popped a little picture of Sharpedo in the Discord for him. He loves it. He's got one of his kids seems to love Pokemon. Might be his fault. I definitely feel like the reason my kid loves Pokemon is definitely my fault as well, buddy. Yeah. Also in the Discord, we got Covertly. He's getting stuck in, putting some memes up in there now.
That's what you want.
Which is always good. That's how you mate. The Discord, it's the place to be now. People love that shit.
It's all kicking off in there. It's beautiful.
It's just too much to handle, really. I feel like we need to employ a community manager soon to deal with this.
We're going to need that. Yeah, we're definitely going to need that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, Covertly posted a wonderful Hitman picture last week.
Oh, it's fantastic, wasn't
it? Just a body count of, like 30 corpses in a fucking doorway.
That's how you Hitman, buddy. It's how it's fucking done.
Yeah, it's good shit.
It's brilliant.
So yeah, I mean, if you want to get involved in that, buddies, then as you know, head over to our website, www.thejfgpodcast.co.uk, and you can find the Discord link there. Come and get stuck in. Come and get involved. We stream every Wednesday around sort of 8:30, 9 o'clock kicking off time, and we're always kicking about in the week as well. I've got the app on my phone, so do you, and dip in and out all the time. I seem
to be doing a lot of more streaming as well now.
Yeah, you're getting into your stride a little bit, aren't you? Like,
I don't know what that's all about. I'm just sitting here playing games. I'm like, I might as well put myself on the internet again.
Well, I think the more you do it, the more comfortable you get doing it, don't you? And then the less of a sort of big deal it is. It just becomes easier, and you become like more comfortable as you get used to it. So, yeah, no, it's all good.
Talking about streaming, buddy, we've had some comments on some of our streams on old YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, Jesus, where are we? On the old Sea of Thieves streams that I've been doing. John, Johnny the Truth Teller, he loves this Sea of Thieves. Can't deny it. He loves it. And also the podcast, which is always, a nice.
Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you very much.
Just want to say thank you for all your help, really. Like, literally a wealth of knowledge of Sea of Thieves on there, which is fantastic. And also, buddy, this week, I streamed some Black Cow, and some guy left a comment, and I was like, I know this guy. The comment was, "What the fuck is wrong with your face? Jabroni Cakes 2000. And I was like, I know this guy. And then I looked at the name. It's old Lonesome Not I, a.k.a. Mel Gibson's Soul.
Oh, Mel Gibson's Soul. Very nice.
It's been a fucking while, buddy. The only reason I clicked on his profile and watched some of his videos, and I was like, fuck, It's Mel when he goes off in his escapades, like looking at random stuff. It's ace.
Yeah, man. I fucking love that
Enjoyed watching some of that. Yeah, it was cool. So, fucking welcome back, Mel. I don't know if you're listening to the pod or not, but it's nice to hear from you again, buddy. I do miss the art of Mel Gibson's soul, by the way. It was a beautiful, wondrous thing.
Yeah, Gibbons.
If you ever get a chance, buddy, would love to see some more.
Yeah, and it's obviously all about the Discord these days. That's the place for your art. Anyone
Indeed.
who fancies creating
Gibbons.
some beautiful pieces for the Discord. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just been fucking kicking off everywhere, mate. Our fans are, ubiquitous.
Fans, your Gibbons. The thousands from Goudhurst. I'm sure they'll be getting involved soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and the dreaded hate campaign coming from the Medway towns as the thousands of people from Medway who used to.
That's why we need
the
that
show.
community manager to keep it under
Keep me
wraps,
in check,
keep it calm.
and perhaps advise me that I should stop suggesting that anyone who ever goes to Medway will be stabbed.
Well, it's a fact.
It's just I'm not going to censor. There'll be no fake news here, buddy. That's
truths, buddy.
That's how Medway works. You've got the depths of deep as dark as Detroit, but then you got Gillingham High Street. You want to fucking watch out for that shit. Well, thanks, buddies. Thanks so much for all your input, and we'll be popping on the Discord. And I've now fixed Discord on my phone, and it was broken for some time. As it
Discord,
was broken on
that app that's that program that's really good.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it. Yep.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
So I'll be in there. It's been a little bit of a while since I've posted a picture of an ulce. So
that's true. It has been a while.
Something that needs to happen. So yeah, thanks very much to everyone who's contributed this week. Thanks very much to Funk for his little cheeky tidbit of fuck bit corner. There you go.
Yeah, fuck bit. Obviously, thank you for everyone joining us on the live stream as well.
As we always say, of course, if you have been joining us on the live stream this evening, you're far more important than anyone who listens afterwards, buddy, on a podcast app or so on. We all look down on them together, and also those people, thanks very much for listening as well. So I think that'll about do us, buddy, for episode 214 of the JfG Podcast. What a fun time we've had. I have to say, I didn't know that this wine was a 14% wine when I started drinking it. Yeah, and it's because I've just been kind of sitting here and not really moving. You know how it kind of you don't really know, and I'm going to get up in a minute and be like, oh shit, that's kind of how it goes. It's
oh shit, I'm pissed again.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. the daily occurrence. Yeah, there we are.
How did this happen?
I can't believe this has happened to me again. I had no way of knowing. Yeah,
it's so true. I've been there many times.
Now, buddy, I hear. And by I hear, I mean I was emailed by Sony today.
Shit.
Suggesting that, not personally, of course.
Okay, no.
On this occasion, but I've heard a rumor that there might be some sort of new sale on the.
What? I don't know about this, and I'm the guy that knows about all the sales.
I know, so I think we should probably fucking go and investigate that right meow. Frankly.
Right, yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll do that with you.
Givens, thanks so much for listening, everyone. We had to take a couple of runs at the intro this week, which was a fucking delight.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's why it's quarter to 11 at this point. But thanks for sticking with us if you did. And
Gibbons.
I will be back next week, although Ash will be off sunning himself somewhere. Which is, as is his right. But I'll catch you then, buddies. Until then, I've been Alex. He has been Ash.
Goodbye.
Farewell. You've been listening to the JfG Podcast with Ash and me, Alex. You can find us at www.thejfgpodcast.co.uk, where you'll also find our Discord and Street Beat if you want to get involved with the show. Our Facebook is /the JfG Podcast, and our Twitter handle is @the JfG Podcast. We're on all those video streaming sites too, buddies, from TubeTube to twitch.tv /the JfG Podcast to mixer.com, aka beam.fucking-pro. We've got a PS4 community you can join, just search the JfG Podcast on there, and we're also on Google Plus if that is how you choose to live your life. Thanks so much for listening, buddies. We'll catch you next time.